y de organizaciones de nuestra comunidad que han dicho presente para ser parte must be a tenet of our governance. And so the best way to do that is to ensure that the community voices, that your ideas, that your concerns are part of an action plan to guide our work. I'm a visionary. I can imagine the many beautiful things that we need for our community. We understand the critical needs of our community. But there's also personal experiences that guide your day-to-day lives that we need insights of in order to make sure that we are governing with you in mind. And so the co-governance process makes sure that we have your voices in mind when we make decisions about our city budget, when we talk about budget cuts, when we talk about budget restorations, when we talk about how to prioritize what resources come into our community, and when we legislate at the city council. So, como concejal, nosotros entendemos las problemáticas de la comunidad, pero entendemos que para ser efectivos en nuestro trabajo es importante que las voces de la comunidad sean parte de este proceso. Entonces es importante entender cuáles son las necesidades de ustedes como personas. Por eso estamos aquí hoy. Co-governance allows people's voices at the table when discussions are being made. And we often say that those closest to the pain have all of the solutions. Nosotros entendemos que las personas que están más cerca al dolor, a las cosas que están pasando en nuestra comunidad, que también no son muy buenas, tienen la solución. In the past few months, community members have been meeting weekly, bi-weekly, monthly to create today's assembly and gather ideas for our future action plan, which you will be contributing to today within our breakout groups and throughout our survey. In the next section, you'll meet some of these community members as they discuss their experiences as part of co-governance. Entonces, como mencioné anteriormente, por meses, este grupo de miembros de la comunidad han estado preparando esta asamblea. Las voces de ellos están en este cuarto hoy. Todo lo que ustedes van a experimentar hoy fue algo que un miembro de la comunidad sugirió. This is the next step in a social, political infrastructure project that creates a space for direct community input to shape legislation, budgets, projects, and community goals, with the ultimate goal of creating a long-term action plan developed by the people for the people. Entonces, nuestro objetivo hoy es hacer un plan comunitario hecho por el pueblo para el pueblo. So thank you all for being here today. And I'm going to pass it on to Ms. Tanisha Grant, who's going to walk us through the next section. I failed to mention that some of our wonderful panelists are here. I have to shout out their organizations as well. Cynthia De La Rosa is from Hester Street. She's here. She's from Nature Hall. It's lower. My friend Taft, because I'm not going to say your full name, Taft. You're going to say that later. But Taft is a laborer. And he has been critical in organizing construction sites in our own community that have put workers' lives in danger. So thank you, Taft, for being here. And Kathy Diaz, who is one of my favorites, she's the chair of our local community board, and is someone who also I consider a force of nature. And so, Tanisha, take it away.
Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Okay, because we're going to have a whole bunch of energy for what's going on today. My name is Tanisha Grant. I am the Executive Director of Parents Supporting Parents New York and Moms United for Black Lives New York City. And I am a lifetime member of Washington Heights. I'm here. First of all, I want to say thank you to our Councilwoman Carmen De La Rosa. Give it up for Councilwoman Carmen De La Rosa. I have told my sis that she is a revolutionary because this is revolutionary what we are doing right now. It's about the community together. I appreciate that Carmen recognizes that she is a public servant and that she, with the community, collective, we can do anything. I also want to say I am amazed at the turnout. So shout out to our whole governance committee, because we be out in these streets working, okay? So we want to set the tone and get y'all together for what we want to be doing today. So I'm going to go through a few things. Is that okay? Is that okay? Yeah. All right, first up we got the agenda. So we did the registration, we're doing the welcome very well. We're going to do the People's Theater Project. Then we're going to do a co-governance panel. Then we're going to do the Uptown co-governance. Then we're going to have a lunch break because we're going to feed y'all. Then we're going to do the breakout groups, which I'm really excited about. And then we're going to do the closing and the next step.
Let me translate that. So, la agenda de hoy es felicitación. Felicidades, ya pasaron la felicitación. La bienvenida, estas somos nosotras los que estamos dando la bienvenida ahora mismo. Vamos a tener el talento del People's Theater Project, que va a ser algo cultural para nosotros aquí hoy. Luego vamos a tener el panel de expertos en la cogobernanza. Después vamos a entrar a la cogobernanza en el Alto Manhattan. Un almuerzo. We have to thank Booney Cafe for not only providing coffee and pastries, but for providing lunch. Small business that always says presente for us. So thank you, Booney Cafe. So we'll have lunch, and then we'll do the breakouts. The breakouts are probably the most important part of the day, because that's where we're going to gather your input. So please stay for the breakouts. And then we're going to come back into this room, report out, closing, and next steps. I talked in English, didn't I? That happens sometimes. So, excúsenme que comencé a hablar en inglés. Se me olvidó el español. Almuerzo fue probado por Booney Café, y luego del almuerzo nosotros vamos a hablar las discusiones de grupo, y después el cierre, aquí en este cuarto de nuevo. Vamos a ir a grupos pequeños y luego regresamos a este cuarto para el cierre.
So we have some goals that we want to talk about. So the first goal is we want to gather community input for District 10 action plan, because we want to turn our ideas into action, right? The second is we want to increase community knowledge about co-governance. It is very important that we always inform and educate our community on what we're doing. The third thing is that we want to collect 50 community surveys and recruit 25 community outreach volunteers. Community is about service, so volunteering really is being a good community member.
Okay, so las metas de hoy: recoger las aportaciones de la comunidad para el plan de acción del Distrito 10, aumentar el conocimiento de la comunidad sobre la cogobernanza, y tercero, recopilar 50 encuestas comunitarias y reclutar 25 voluntarios para nosotros hacer divulgación comunitaria en las encuestas.
So, we gotta have some community agreements, y'all. So the first one is everyone has a voice. We all have important things to input on what we want in our community and how we get those things in our community. And all your voices are needed. There are no bad questions or bad ideas. Whatever you're thinking, please understand that this is a safe space to express yourself. Attack problems, not people. We here to love on each other and love on our diversity and how that makes us stronger. Anything else is unacceptable.
So, hay reglas hoy, nosotros estamos llamando acuerdos comunitarios, para que esto sea un espacio donde todo el mundo pueda dar sus opiniones con respeto y dignidad. El primero, todo el mundo tiene una voz en este proceso. El segundo, no hay malas preguntas ni malas ideas. Tercero, ataquemos los problemas y no a la persona. Es necesario escuchar activamente. El respeto mutuo fomentará el pensamiento creativo de estar bien si no está de acuerdo. Nosotros sabemos estar en desacuerdo con respeto de cada uno.
Active listening is required. A lot of times we listen to respond. We want to really be intentional about listening to hear, right? Those are two different things. So we can understand each other. Mutual respect will promote creative thinking. When we know that we are in a space where people respect us, our imagination is just off the charts. And that's what we want for our community. And it's okay to disagree. There's billions of people in the world. So we're all individuals. So we're not always going to agree or see the same point. The goal is to respect everybody and agree to disagree.
Thank you, Senator. So now I'm going to introduce, I have the honor to introduce Nina Laura, who's going to introduce her group, the People's Theater Project. And I have to say, I've known Nina now for over a decade, and the People's Theater Project is really a group that started in an apartment on Fort Washington with the mission of resistance in arts. So Nina Laura es la directora ejecutiva del People's Theater Project, una persona que conozco por más de una década. Es un grupo de teatro que cree en la resistencia a través del arte. Nina Laura.
Buenos días a todos. Good morning, everyone. Mi nombre es Nina Laura y soy la directora artística y ejecutiva del People's Theater Project. Feliz de estar aquí. Voy a presentar a mi colega Teresa Salazar, artista también y directora de que van a ver. Pero primero decirles un poco de quién es PTP. Nosotros creemos que todos somos artistas, todos somos activistas, seamos actores profesionales, como Teresa, o seamos actores comunitarios, seamos jóvenes, seamos ancianos, seamos trabajadores, todos tenemos una historia que contar. So at People's Theater Project, we believe that we are all artists, we are all activists, whether we are professional artists on Broadway, like Teresa is, or we are community members, or we are young people, we are workers, we are leaders, we are others. So we believe we all have a voice and a story to share, and that's what we're doing, because we know that that's when we tell our stories. By us telling our stories, we highlight the issues that are important to us. And we're so excited to be part of co-governance, and that you get a sample de un tejido de historias que se hizo el mes pasado, de las historias de nuestros increíbles artistas comunitarios. Para decirles un poco más sobre lo que van a ver, es una muestra de lo que presentamos en la Alianza Africana el mes pasado, se le pasa a Teresa Salazar.
Thank you. Okay, so like you said, there's a video here from our workshop. We incubated this piece for about a week and a half. And we're going to see our stories from community members, immigrants, workers. That was, we put it into an offering. We don't like to call it a show, we like to call it an offering, an ofrenda. Okay? So we're going to see only a little bit of it, just a taste of it. We did it at the Alianza Dominicana a couple weeks ago. We also got to do it at the Whitney Museum. So I really, I want to ask you to give your full support, your attention, and to look at the video here for a couple seconds. And the only thing I will say is we had 3 ingredients at the start of this workshop, which were heart, mind, and imagination. Al principio de este workshop nosotros teníamos 3 ingredientes con los que empezamos a crear esta pieza, y esos 3 ingredientes son corazón, mente e imaginación. Les presento Tejido de Historias.
I am a Bronx native, born and one day, early on in my college career, one of my classmates approached me and said, "Hey, do you know that you have an accent?"
David Steven Fajardo Heredia. Y me pusieron Steven porque mi abuelo es un fanático de esas películas de acción donde dan mucha bala. Y pues bueno, su actor favorito era Steven Seagal, yo quedé Steven. Y hasta los 7 años lo escribí E-S-D-I-V-E-N, hasta que la profesora me hizo hacer muchas planas, repetir mi nombre muchas veces, escribiéndolo de la manera en que realmente es. S-D-I-V-E-N. Mi objeto es un lápiz y lo voy a poner aquí, como flotando en el espacio.
Santiago como uno de los apóstoles. Santiago, mi papá encontró el nombre en la Biblia. Pero él me contaba que mi abuelo se iba al pueblo todos los domingos y volvía a la casa con un periódico. Buscaba el nombre para mis hijos en el periódico. Así que en los 50 por allá leía Oppenheimer. Y uno de mis tíos se llama Adenauer. Después de que me contó eso, estuve tan feliz de que haya encontrado una Biblia y no un periódico. Mi nombre es Santiago, por eso mi objeto es un periódico. Y lo voy a poner
La puerta está abierta.
exactly of our experience for today. We want to make sure that you not only know the artistic work that is happening uptown with Dino and others in the room leadership. We know that it is important to have cultural expression in all the work that we do, and we hope that this performance helps to center some of our emotions as we welcome our panel of experts. Dino, do you want to say anything?
Simplemente esta fue una ofrenda, como dijo Teresa. Nuestras historias son importantes, nos retamos y nos invitamos a que usen el poder de sus historias, de su llegada, de dónde vamos ahora, de esa puerta imaginaria hacia el futuro, de co-governance, de co-liderazgo. Porque lo que resulta para mí, seguro que no solo para mí, es para otros. Así que gracias por participar, y si ustedes quieren hacer una guía, vayan a www.org, Leticia, y ustedes también pueden ser parte de eso. So excited to do that.
Thank you, Lino. All right, good people here project. So now we're going to ask our local panelists to come up. Kathy Diaz, Ana Maria China, Tad, and Cynthia de la Rosa.
We need energy, y'all. We need
Thank you all for being here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
For having
Thank you.
the bar.
Thank you.
Nuestro panelista de hoy. So I'm going to introduce our panelists and we're going to get into this expert panel on co-governance. And then we're going to do the Uptown co-governance presentation and then the breakout room. So hang in there, guys, all right? So here are our wonderful panelists. I have to thank you all for being here. Gracias. Thank you for being here. So I'm going to say a little bit about each of our panelists. Kathy Diaz is the chair of Community Board 12. She's a proud Washington Heights native who for over a decade has worked on the front lines, leading community programs towards health, equity, including co-founding the only drop-off program for queer youth in Washington Heights. Grounded in interdisciplinary background of activism and the arts, Kathy is a strong believer in the transformative power of community and the creation of a more just and equitable world. Kathy started her career as a young organizer and as a graduate of both Parsons School of Design and NYU. She currently serves as our Community Board 12 chair. So Kathy Diaz, señores, una superestrella en nuestra comunidad, es la presidenta de la Junta Comunitaria 12, pero también es una hija de Washington Heights, que cree en el poder de la transformación a través del activismo comunitario. Thank you, Kathy, for being here. Yo creo que Ana Maria China, one of my favorites. She is the co-director of the Working Families Party. Ana Maria, and is a longtime activist for the rights of workers, immigrants, women, and the LGBTQ+ community. As a former co-executive director of the Center for Popular Democracy, Ana Maria built CPD into one of the largest organizing networks with 54 affiliate organizations across 32 states and Puerto Rico. She has successfully led the campaign that won the increase to the minimum wage, paid sick day, and protections against wage theft. And don't get caught in an elevator if Ana Maria is around, but she'll tell you about yourself if you're not doing for our communities. So Ana Maria es la directora del Partido de la Familia Trabajadora en Estados Unidos. Ana Maria es una activista sobre los derechos de los trabajadores, los inmigrantes, las comunidades LGBTQ y también es la co-ejecutiva del Centro de la Democracia Popular. Ella ha creado organizaciones y redes en 54 organizaciones afiliadas a través de 32 estados y Puerto Rico. Y ha liderado en campañas, por ejemplo, a levantar, implementar el salario mínimo, asegurar que los trabajadores tengan vida de enfermedad y protecciones en contra del robo de salarios. Y déjeme decirle algo, usted era bien chiquita, pero ella no es fácil. are equipped with the right tools to inform a participatory process. With over 15 years in public health, community engagement, and organizing tools, she is committed to working alongside communities of color and low-income communities to address health inequities and create opportunities where they can equitably thrive. Cynthia holds a bachelor's in human biology and an MPH in social behaviors and community health from the University of Albany, a certificate in management from the Silverman School of Social Health at Hunter College, and a master's in urban planning from New York University. Cynthia is a marathon and a triathlon athlete, and a longtime resident of Washington Heights. She is not just working, you can find her running in the neighborhood with Rerun Uptown, reading or breaking it down on the dance floor. So, ya ustedes saben, ella es una carrera, ustedes también se preocupan más. Cintia La Rosa es una trabajadora de Hester Street. Ella es una persona que está encargada de salud pública, residencia y el proceso participativo en comunidades. Más de 15 años de experiencia. Y esta muchacha está documentada. Tiene más certificados y diplomas. Todos están aquí si ustedes lo quieren ver, pero es una experta en su trabajo. We're proud of you with all those degrees and all those titles. That's a lot of work. Cynthia también es parte de nuestra comunidad aquí en Washington Heights. Ella corre en nuestra comunidad con un grupo que usted lo ve corriendo por ahí, los jueves de la noche, yo lo veo corriendo a toda hora. Yo quiero correr con ustedes, pero no me dan la piedra de la prensa. So, le queremos dar la bienvenida a Cynthia. Thank you, Cynthia, for being here. And we give it up for this panel of experts. So we're going to start with some questions. The first question is going to be really for the whole panel. And you all can just go down the line and answer. Co-governance is what we're talking about today. And each of you have a unique connection with co-government. Can you talk to us a little bit about how we co-govern and how co-governance structures play a role in your daily work?
So co-governance, so community boards I like to think about as the OG of co-governance, right? That's the reason why we exist, and we exist in law, right, for 40 plus years. And so our role is to speak on behalf of the neighborhood, right? We're all volunteers, we're 50 volunteers, and our mandate is to work with city agencies, including state agencies as well, and be able to speak on behalf of the district, right? At the same time, the city is required to come to the community boards, right? They're required to come, whether it's a brand new building, whether it's new laws and sanitation, they're required to come to us. So that partnership, I think about, or the co-governance with community boards, I think about it like a chain. Literally like a chain around my neck right now, right? It is locked in. And the best way that we can work in partnership together, right? The only way that my neck can stay around my neck is if we are locked in, right? Entonces, el co-liderazgo, con la comunidad, nosotros somos como ¿cómo se puede decir? Los originales, nosotros siempre hemos existido por más de 40 años y es requerido por ley en la ciudad de Nueva York. Existimos para el propósito de liderar con la ciudad, de liderar con los oficiales electos como cadre. O sea, nosotros existimos solamente para ese propósito. Y a la vez eso quiere decir que nosotros representamos las necesidades, los intereses del distrito cual representamos. Y a la vez la ciudad y también el Estado está requerido a venir a nuestra junta comunitaria. ¿Verdad? Y no pueden tomar ciertas decisiones sin nuestra voz. Entonces nosotros como co-governance o co-liderazgo no es un concepto nuevo. Tenemos muchos años en esto. Ahora, podemos hablar de la eficacia, pero muchas veces lo pienso de nosotros como una cadena, la cadena que yo puedo, en que los oficiales electos, las agencias, todos estamos enlazados con una cadena, no podemos funcionar y mover como uno ni el otro. Buenos días. Primero quiero empezar dándole las gracias al grupo de teatro que me hicieron llorar un sábado por la mañana antes de llegar. So I just want to start by thanking the people sitting around me. Their first piece had me crying, and then again on Saturday morning before my panel. So thank you for that. But really, so beautiful, so beautiful. So I'm going to get to the Working Families Party. The Working Families Party is an official party in the state of New York dedicated to transforming how our government works. Right now, the vast majority of our government is highly influenced by the industries that dominate the state. The real estate industry, Wall Street, healthcare industry. Often, that means that the priorities of working class, middle class New Yorkers, communities of color, get left behind. And so, the Working Class Party was essentially created to be the party for workers, for tenants, for students, for families. And we look at the ideal form of governing as one that is deeply collaborative, where elected officials come from our base, come from the communities, and govern by listening. That's really what governance is. It's governing by listening. And how can we listen when there are thousands and thousands of people moving around, doing daily life? The way that they can listen better is by engaging in the spaces where community members are organized. Unions, community boards, parent groups, community organizations, all these entities sort of create spaces for people to participate and to organize their ideas, to present solutions, and then the elected officials that we help elect are oriented towards listening to people first and trying to get out of the noise of the lobbyists or the industries that lobby. So that's what the Working Families Party is trying to do, is elect people who understand that they belong to their communities, that they are there because people have given them the trust to listen better. And that's what people do. That's why we're so happy to be here, because that is actually a perfect example of what it looks like to govern by listening. Nosotros hoy aquí representamos al Partido de las Familias Trabajadoras. El Partido de las Familias Trabajadoras es un partido oficial aquí en el estado de Nueva York, dedicado a elegir candidatos que puedan cambiar la forma como el gobierno se relaciona con las comunidades trabajadoras en este estado. Vivimos en un estado donde las industrias, o la industria finca raíz, o la industria de Wall Street, dominan muchas de las prioridades del gobierno. Y eso muchas veces deja por fuera las prioridades de la gente. El partido está dedicado a construir poder que le pertenezca a la gente y a elegir personas que están dispuestas a gobernar escuchando. ¿Y cómo pueden escuchar mejor? Estando en relación con las organizaciones que representan a los trabajadores, a los estudiantes, a los inquilinos, a las mujeres, a los jóvenes, a las personas LGBTQ. Entonces, esas organizaciones presentan como las ideas más importantes de las comunidades. Y los candidatos que nosotros apoyamos son aquellos que están dispuestos a escuchar mejor, a como dispersar el ruido de los lobbies para poder escuchar a la gente y gobernar dándole prioridad a los intereses de la gente. Y Carmen es un ejemplo perfecto de esa idea de gobernar
lado de la esclavitud existía y llegaban a ciudades buscando oportunidad, o grupos inmigrantes que llegaban del Caribe o de Latinoamérica buscando esa misma oportunidad. Poco a poco, nuestras comunidades han ido cambiando para reflejar las caras que hemos vivido.
And then the civil rights movement happened, the civil rights act happened, and they had to make it so that people that look like us would have to get a share of that pie. And that's when the people who are the ruling class over in Wall Street, the banks, the developers, whoever else, they decided, all right, enough, we're going to get down the hand on the entire working class. Started a union busting revolution that has been punishing our working class communities ever since.
Cuando nosotros comenzamos a mirar el tiempo de cuando luchamos por los derechos civiles, nosotros vemos que cuando más derechos se le daban a esas comunidades minoritarias, veíamos más ejemplos de esas mismas industrias que hablaba Ana María, la industria de bienes raíces, la industria del poder económico de Wall Street, buscaban maneras de perjudicar la clase trabajadora en nuestras comunidades.
We can see it in all of the aspects of how working class people in our communities, whether here or other parts of the city, live. Just a paycheck or two away from homelessness, constantly fighting off poverty, hunger, insecurity in the daily part of our lives. And that was not by accident. That's not just because of choices that people made. It's the system working as it was designed to.
Habla que nosotros sabemos que en comunidades minoritarias muchas veces tenemos personas que están experimentando hambre, están pasando hambre, están viviendo en la calle, no tienen hogar. Y eso no es una coincidencia. Eso pasa porque el sistema actual está diseñado para no empoderar a esas comunidades trabajadoras.
We can call it racial capitalism, we can call it neoliberalism, we can find many names and labels to put on it. I see it every day. On the basis of the lives of construction workers, on non-union job sites that are going up all over our neighborhoods, where we need housing, we need cultural institutions, we need nitrous to be renovated and maintained. But if the jobs that are created through construction in our neighborhoods aren't putting money back into our communities in the form of good wages, retirement security through pensions, medical benefits that bring quality health coverage to communities that have been denied for too long, then we're talking about wealth being sucked out of our communities and going right back to the billionaires.
Él dice que lo podemos llamar racismo por el capitalismo, tiene muchos nombres, pero esa inequidad que existe económica en nuestra ciudad es la que cada día en la cara de los trabajadores de la construcción, donde nosotros entendemos que esos trabajadores están construyendo nuestras ciudades, pero todavía sufren de esos mismos problemas que sufrían nuestros antepasados, problemas de no tener suficiente dinero, aunque trabajan todos los días para sobrevivir, no tener beneficios médicos, no tener pensiones buenas. Eso conlleva a una inestabilidad económica que afecta a nuestras comunidades.
Right down the street is a perfect example of it. There's a construction site, the very first one when you come over the bridge to the Bronx. It's run by this company called Joy Construction that represents all the problems with the system that I'm talking about. They have so many worker deaths associated with them, constant injuries that aren't going to come and rally with us up there, just trying to property on. And yet they keep on getting our tax dollars to put up housing using the labor of exploited immigrant workers, formerly incarcerated workers, the people already living at the margins of our communities and our society, who are finishing jobs and having nothing to show for it. And I don't like to personalize problems that I think are systemic, but boy, is there a way over there. It's called Joy Construction.
So, sabes, hablando de una constructora que está trabajando ahora mismo en nuestra comunidad, si ustedes cruzan el puente entrando al Bronx, saben que hay una construcción grande que está ocurriendo ahí, hay una constructora que se llama Joy Construction, que ya tiene un historial, que donde ellos señalar problemas sistémicos o personales, pero él dice que en nuestra comunidad existe el cubo de Joy Construction, que está trabajando en nuestra comunidad. Y está trabajando con el dinero del ingreso que ustedes pagan en sus taxes.
So when I think of co-governance, what I think of is how Harmon is working with my union and so many other community organizations that are fighting to make sure that if the city is going to put our tax dollars, our public resources into building in our neighborhoods, then those construction jobs are going to go back into building up for people from our neighborhoods in the form of good wages and local hiring.
So, Zach dice que cuando él cree en la gobernanza, él cree en la coalición que hemos formado para defender a esos trabajadores. Una coalición que incluye oficiales como yo, que he ido al lugar donde se están construyendo a protestar, pero también residentes de la comunidad que se están organizando, al igual a organizaciones que tienen lucros, todos trabajando juntos para nosotros poder lidiar con ese problema.
Construction is one of the only industries where people who never had an opportunity to go to college or even finish high school, people who might have a criminal record that weighs them down throughout their lives, people who might not have citizenship or just looking for an opportunity, might not speak English, people who are locked out of the traditional economy. Construction is one of the only places where you can go to find a job and feed your family. And it used to be that it was a job that could sustain the whole family. But now, the billionaires, Wall Street, the developers are making it so that it's a big economy job that punishes black and brown workers and communities. And we need to turn that around, and that's what we're going to do.
Él dice que la industria de la construcción es una, primeramente sabemos, de las más peligrosas industrias de trabajo, donde la mayoría de los trabajadores tomaron el paso de trabajar en estos lugares sin tener educación formal. Entonces, por esa inequidad existen peligros dentro de esa industria. Él dice que es importante que nosotros trabajemos juntos dentro de la gobernanza para asegurar que haya una responsabilidad en esa industria y también gobernanza cuando cambiamos las leyes que gobiernan a la industria de la construcción. Thank you.
build from the beginning where it's bringing people throughout the process, right? There be transparency, and there be bi-directional conversation, that there's input from the people, there's input from the institutions, the organizations that are our part, and what it is. We talked earlier about, tasks that's what we provide people. And if that's really the case, that we don't necessarily believe that certain people, then we should be calling in the people to us, right? Whether it's our aunties or us in the room, or the young people that are not here in the room representing their, actually, usually that is in the house, so yes. They know what they want. People know what they want. We know what we want. And so having these conversations, elevating them, building up that rapport with each other and the council members, the other elected officials, those that have the voting power and the say, really letting them know that we all speak to us.
We have to just dig into our own experience. Like, what keeps me coming back to a place I love? Like, that keeps the answer to that question is the answer to our question, how do we keep engaging and growing? The Working Families Party is structured as a permanent coalition of community organizations, labor organizations, and individuals, chapters, places where people who are not members of one or another organization find a way to participate constantly. And so we have that structure because that structure ensures that we are constantly in relationship and in conversation and struggling together to solve problems or to create solutions together. And in co-governance, right now, in most of the country, elected officials are not invited to stay in permanent conversations with the stakeholders in their communities. There are elected officials who get elected and then go to their house and come back on election day or like election season to re-engage. That's the norm. So what we're trying to do is break that norm. What we are doing is break that norm and create a new norm where we're constantly talking to the organizations that represent people and also creating a space for individuals to engage with you. And the reason why that is so powerful and so transformative is because it shifts the power dynamics tremendously. It allows people to actually be powerful together in relationships with you and to the government. And the fact is that there are lots of things that public policy responds to that are problems. There is lack of affordable housing, there is, the clear answer to that question is, protect the affordable housing that exists, allow people to stay in homes, build affordable housing that uses union labor so that people are not exploited in the process, right? And then there are some things that are just dilemmas. They don't have a clear answer. And they're not easy to resolve. And having a space for people to engage with their electeds in the things that are dilemmas is fundamental to creating a sense of unity and the possibility of actually arriving at an answer together. And yo creo que la forma de la participación a la respuesta de una manera es una respuesta muy simple. Si nosotros nos enfrentamos a nosotros mismos, a nosotras mismas, ¿qué me hace regresar a un lugar que me quiera? La respuesta a eso es la respuesta al
community board. We know your meetings, and you all should get engaged in the community board if you haven't already. For some people, the community board is something that they visit when they have to visit because it's an issue that they care about. For some people, it's their monthly routine to go to the community board, and for some people, they never set foot in a community board meeting. So my question to you, Kathy, is how do we engage District 10 residents who are interested in governance, but have commitments that prevent them from being as involved as they would like in spaces like the community board? La pregunta para Kathy es, la Junta Comunitaria es importante, es nuestro colaborador en todas las cosas como gobernanza, pero hay personas que por procesos de trabajo o por sus intereses no pueden pasar un círculo de horas en una reunión de la Junta Comunitaria. Entonces, ¿cómo nosotros podemos trabajar con los ustedes de nuestra comunidad que no pueden llegar a la Junta Comunitaria?
I have a question for you, and this is the first question I should start off with. With the show of hands, how many, besides today, how many of y'all have heard of community board? Oh, okay. All right, keep on. Put them down if you've never been to a board meeting. Okay. All right, 2 minutes. How many of y'all have ever been to a community board meeting? Ahora bien, ¿cuántos de ustedes nunca han asistido a una reunión de la Junta Comunitaria? ¿Dónde van a votar? Bien. Nunca. Ok, bien. Ahora en español, de nuevo, aparte del día de hoy, o sea, antes de hoy, de esta hora, ¿cuántos de ustedes han escuchado de una Junta Comunitaria? Bien. Ok, so este es un grupo no informado. So I'm going to start with that. That's the first thing we need to change. Because the majority of people have never heard of a community board. And I can get into that for many reasons. But it is a systemic issue that we need to change. That is a city issue in that there is a huge disinvestment in community boards. Community boards are advisory, right? We're meant to co-govern. We're meant to be in partnership. Well, we don't get the funding, we don't have the staff, we don't get the resources in order to do that effectively. So we need to transform that. And part of the ways that we can do that is making sure that people come to the board, whether that's our needs, whether that's our listserv, whether that's any events that we put together, because what that demonstrates is weight. And concepts, there's times that folks come to the board because they're required to. And I don't even know a lot of people hate community boards. A lot of city and governmental officials dislike community boards. Why? Because they think we're disconnected. They're like, that's 10 people who complain all day, every day, and they don't do nothing outside. But when you have a room of 200 people just like this, what does the housing preservation going to say? What does the crime building going to say? We're disconnected. You can't do that. So the number one way is by participating in our meetings. We are on Zoom. I'm really proud of the changes that we made in community boards in the last 3 years, I would say. Our meetings are not long. Some people remember boards from 20 years ago. Our meetings are under 3 hours. Many times they're an hour and a half. Right? You can hop on Zoom, cook in your kitchen, do what you need to do, just hop on that Zoom, and participate that way. Because without your presence, what are we going to talk about? Right now, comunidad pasan ahí. Entonces, lo más clave es uno, pegar la voz. Si usted conoce, si usted está en nuestra lista, donde reciben nuestro correo electrónico, ahí le llegan todas las alertas y puede compartir. También algo que no les dije es que si tú eres parte del grupo ya formal, pero también una asociación de inquilinos, necesitamos hacer esos enlaces. Esos enlaces son clave de determinar cuál es la agenda de la junta comunitaria. La junta comunitaria, aunque no podemos tomar de obligar a diferentes agencias a hacer algo, nosotros somos una voz clave. Entonces, si viene, vamos a decir, si viene housing, cualquier otra agencia, si yo no tengo las asociaciones de inquilinos en esa reunión, ¿cómo yo le voy a decir qué es lo que está pasando en ese edificio? ¿Y cuáles son los recursos necesarios? Si yo no tengo las asociaciones de inquilinos y yo quizá vivo, no que yo viva, pero si yo vivo, soy dueña de mi apartamento y no tengo ese problema, ¿cómo yo voy a agregar esa voz y cómo voy a compartir una solución de un problema que no vivo? Entonces, clave participar, no necesariamente tiene que ser que todos los días, una vez al mes, pero sí tienes que mantenerse informada, empapada de lo que toma y que existimos. Just real quick, I'm gonna pass the mic. Yeah, I know most of you community board members, if y'all can stand up real quick. Community board members, let's see. Remember those spaces, they represent different parts of our board. They're involved in many different issues on our board, so even if you can't make it, well, we all live lives, and they will, right? So whether or not you can make it to our meeting, we try as much as we can to be present everywhere, so that if you can't make it, all right, I'm on that committee, I'm gonna make sure we bring that next month. So those connections from people to people are vital. Esos miembros que se separaron son miembros de la junta comunitaria. En el día de hoy, por favor, encuéntrense con ellos. Sí, y nosotros, muchos de ellos son involucrados en muchas actividades en la comunidad. Así que no es que son parte de la junta comunitaria, que no puede llegar a una actividad, a una reunión, háblenme, porque ellos se pueden asegurar de que el mes que viene, en nuestra meta, podemos poner su problema o cualquier tema de prioridad.
So much, Kathy. So this last question was kind of for me. I'm going to open up for two questions from the audience if we're in time. But I want to ask one last question. It's an important one because it's one that I personally think about all the time. That I see it there out. It's the community board or community town halls. How do we engage a community with conflicting ideologies? When one sector of the community's interest is different from another sector of the community's interest. When we have stakeholders like nonprofits who may have a different agenda that's on business. How do we engage the community when there are conflicting ideologies? I'm going to go down the panel. Whoever wants to answer.
That is a problem. That is literally the community board's job. We have people with different values, visions, ideologies on our board. And I'm not gonna lie, it's hard. What I think is critical in not just the community board, but in other spaces, is really how you have a safe and objective, fair space. How do I make sure that whether I as a person, as a facilitator, agree with you or disagree with you, that I make time and space for everybody's voice to be heard? And how do we also set, in our case, we need to get to consensus. It is nice to talk all day, every day, and you have an opinion and I have an opinion. But we got a decision to make. What's the path ahead? And so part of that is establishing in that process consensus and agreements, right? What are the points that we can agree to? Where are the points that are actually more long-term, right? Like maybe we're not gonna solve that tonight, but we can set a path forward in the next 15 months. So repito, en la junta comunitaria,
Y la pregunta fue, escúchame, ¿cómo nosotros mantenemos a nuestra comunidad involucrada cuando hay ideologías que están en conflicto? Esa es la pregunta. Entonces, la junta comunitaria es el experto, yo quiero decir eso, porque todos tenemos, o sea, nosotros somos una agrupación de 50 personas que no, en realidad, estamos ahí porque tenemos diferentes perspectivas. Hay personas que tienen una ideología
porque muchas veces yo sí como persona, como presidenta de la Junta, tengo mis opiniones, pero mi trabajo no es alzar mi propia opinión, ¿verdad? Muchas veces también hay que sacar el ego. Se trata de la persona que está en este salón. ¿Cómo yo puedo asegurar que el rey que está aquí adelante y que ellos también, quizás tienen diferentes opiniones, se sientan seguras a compartirlas, que se sientan escuchadas y a la vez que todos estamos claros por el propósito de por qué estamos acá? Al fin de línea, y muchas veces podemos hablar de que yo tengo esta opinión y yo creo esto, pero hay que tomar una decisión. Entonces, tenemos que formar procesos y acuerdos. ¿Cuántas veces es un acuerdo? Los dos pensamos que me importa mi comunidad. Esto es lo que nos trae acá. Pero hoy en día tenemos que llegar a un acuerdo. ¿Y cómo podemos llegar ahí? Y muchas veces lo que yo he encontrado es que, aunque tenemos diferentes perspectivas, todos queremos lo mismo. Seguridad, felicidad, prosperidad, lo dice salud. Entonces tenemos que llegar al acuerdo del día de hoy y hay cosas que nos vas a tomar 1 año, 20 años, 50 años. Entonces esa es la realidad que yo encuentro que nos ayuda. ¿Cuál es la decisión de hoy? Y vamos a seguir trabajando en el día de mañana.
En este momento vivimos en un país que está súper polarizado, donde los medios de prensa, muchos, no todos, se dedican como a dividir y a ofrecer una forma de ver el mundo que hace que la gente se sienta asustada, que se sienta abrumada, que sienta que el mundo es imposible, que mejor yo cuido a mi familia y ya. ¿Sí? We're living in a moment right now in this country and around the world, deep polarization. And we have a media environment, not everywhere, but like that really promotes or advances divisions, that media that scares people, that overwhelms people, that makes people feel like the world is impossible, so I better just take care of myself and my closest people and just call it a day. And the thing that's so important about the intentional good governance and spaces like this is that they remind us that we're not alone. They remind us that we belong together. They remind us that there's a lot that we have in common, even if we have different interests, even if we have things that are deeply in conflict with one another. And so I think that ideology, which means like how people see the world, is just one element of people's experience. I could see the world as, through a particular lens, and then find myself next to someone who believes something completely different, but who also loves her kids. And so then I have to see myself in her. We share this thing, we love these kids. And so it's hard not to be willing to listen to a person you disagree with if you find yourself having a very human experience that is shared. And the thing that's beautiful about democracy, and a democracy that's really practiced, is that everybody should have a seat at the table. And the thing that's also beautiful about democracy is that if you lose whatever you wanted to win, you can still have a seat at the table. That's actually what it's all about. Win or lose, you still have a seat at the table. And I think inviting people into believing that that's possible is essential. And we need government and people who are elected who are dedicated to that. that idea. Which is why we need people like you in a city that has a mayor that Gary has, who has really made his politics be about division and fear and overwhelming people of New York and telling a story that New York is impossible. But he's doing so dangerous. And he's imposing his worldview and his ideology on people and scaring people about one another. And so in these moments, like Trump did, and in these moments, people are the ones, everyone here, is able to actually construct a bridge across ethnics better than those folks are. That's or not. Estamos, una de las cosas que es como difíciles es que tantos mensajes que asustan a la gente y que nos hacen sentir como abrumados. Pero si hay una cosa linda de la democracia es que todos tenemos una silla en la mesa, ¿sí? Aquí todos tenemos un espacio. Lo que también les digo de la democracia es que si uno pierde o uno gana, todavía tiene un espacio en la mesa. Y en este momento es un momento de tanta polarización, es supremamente importante tener voces que nos acuerdan de eso y que nos invitan a sentarnos al lado de las personas con las que no estamos de acuerdo, para reconocer que así no vamos con intereses que están en conflicto, somos personas que tenemos una silla, un espacio en la mesa. ¿Sí? Y en esta ciudad, donde tenemos un alcalde que se ha dedicado a asustar a la gente, a crear divisiones, a promover la idea de que vivimos en un espacio en una ciudad súper caótica, es súper importante tener espacios como este y líderes como Carmen que dicen, no, tenemos más en común de lo que tenemos distinto. Y nuestra labor histórica de alguna manera es extender puentes y recordar a las personas que no son personas y que pertenecemos a la misma ciudad, a la misma comunidad, a las diferencias. Esa es la tarea de todos nosotros en este momento de eso.
I think as a union organizer, union rep, I deal with this pretty much every day. The union is bringing people together from every different walk of life, every type of background. You want an opinion, you're going to find it somewhere inside the union. And somehow we all have to stick together and fight for a contract or whatever it is that benefits us all. And the key to that is solidarity. That's at the foundation of the union movement, of the labor movement, and that's what we need to be building in order to bring people from different walks of life in any community together. The key is solidarity. And I think that the media, personalities, the internet, and all these apps that we have on our phones, everything in modern society is designed to be working us apart by making us talk past each other, not listen to each other, and being around the bubbles. How do we break that apart? Is by being amongst each other, by coming out in person, whether it's community board meetings, assemblies like this. I think that really is not that. Getting people together and talking to each other. Because once you start talking to people and relating your experiences and sharing your stories, you start to build solidarity. It's very hard to chip away at once it's there. That's why it's all designed for better communist content. So I think the more that we do that, I think that is the fundamental first step that every step you take, that's also a step on the side. And as long as we're doing that, like the rest, you really got to figure out along the way. There's no blueprint for a lot of the stuff that we're trying to do, and even though there is a blueprint, we really have to reinvest in the wheel all the times. The most important thing is just constantly building solidarity and being aware of what's trying to break us apart, what's trying to divide us, and then rejecting all of that. Because if we didn't do that, we had a common purpose, then we can get to finding out what we want our communities to be, that's to be our families, our neighbors, our loved ones, what we want that to be. So keep our eye on that goal, stick together,
So, para poner lo que está diciendo en español,
because the wisdom here of like really reminding us of the value of solidarity, of that, of like the value as like seeing ourselves as always learning, reminding us that actually co-governance, we are talking here to see if there is a structure that exists. It's like, I have learned a lot. And I feel so grateful to be part of this beautiful space. It's so important, actually. The spaces like this, what they do is like plant seeds of optimism in moments that we hurt and dark. And I want to also just shout out Destiny, who's here at the board, families starting, and Jasmine, is bringing it up. So people want to learn how to work towards starting a chapter and all the ways that we are trying to plant seeds of optimism in these moments. Talk to them, and thank you so much.
We're running behind, so I'm gonna do something quick, and I think we can do this. I'm gonna take one question from the front of this group and one question from the back of this group. So that we have optimal time to ask 2 questions, and the questions could be directed to a specific panelist. They're gonna stick around for a little bit, we're gonna go to lunch soon. So I just wanna make sure that you all have opportunity to follow up with them. So the next thing you all are gonna do is tell them how to follow up with me. But in the meantime, you take one question from the front of this group over here. Una pregunta, ¿de qué hablan? Pregunta, okay. Chris?
Yeah. Hi, my name is Christopherleonjohnson. I'm maxing with the community boards. So how do you really engage people to really join the community boards as a chair?
So how do you engage people to join the community board?
I love that you asked that because applications are open. Rodriguez right here, who's our liaison. Applications are open for community boards. They are due February 24th. Right? At the resource table, we have a QR code where you can go to the website to apply. Now, I want to be real clear. Boards are appointed, right? So there's 50 members. Whether or not you get to be a quote-unquote formal member of the board, you can always engage and have incredible participation at the board meetings. Come to our committee meetings is one of the prime ways to participate, to make an impact at the board. We've been outside. Last night we put our MRFU, the coffee shop on 15th Street, and we're outside, all across Broadway since last year, where we want our community to meet our board members, learn about how to be a board member, but just learn what we do, who we are, and like how to participate more. So
Workers Justice Act that does just that. Try to create spaces and opportunities for our people of color that are excluded from certain jobs to be challenges. So I want to talk about that. And let me just say the question in Spanish. La pregunta de la joven señora acá es ¿por qué en algunas industrias, hablando específicamente de la construcción, no hay espacios para hombres minoritarios, afroamericanos, latinos, de color, que sean parte? Ella quiere saber por qué está pasando eso.
I'm glad you asked that question. So, my union is a little bit of a elephant in the construction trades in that we are the most diverse that actually has members living in the communities of the city that borough. So we're 70% Black Latino, and a lot of that is thanks to the fact that we have an apprenticeship program that we dedicate rigorously to taking in members from communities that are considered. It is true that, especially in Atlanta or other places where people are looking for jobs, there are a lot of agencies, whatever, where people go and get their trainings, get their OSHA, but then there's no work for them, or if there is work, we place on a non-union site, where they have the shops where they don't have a contract, they don't have any sort of protections, all they have is $15,000 if you're lucky, and you don't know your rights, but you can't even less than that with some contract because it's very business. As we saw, there was a recent bus, and I'm sure we're less paid because there's some very business going on. And one of the things that we're focused on is making sure that not only do we continue to intake people from our communities and create those opportunities, and that's been a long-running civil rights goal in the city. Like people in the Harlem Fight Back and other movements that existed, coming out of the communities to fight for construction jobs for Black and brown workers. That's what we're trying to do with the Construction Justice Act. There is affordable housing construction going on in almost every neighborhood. You name it, you walk around, you see signs, you see blue banners that tells you that the city's putting money on there. Well, my union is trying to make sure that we're not even fighting for it all to only be union, to only go to union contractors. We're fighting so that if the job is going up in our tax dollars, then it's going to hire locally from communities that are affected by poverty, and it's going to specifically place people that have been affected by criminalization, their immigration status, women, public housing residents, but also pay a good wage of $40 an hour with benefits. Because if you're not doing that, then you shall pay off and increase poverty.
Thank you. So, TAF habló sobre la iniciativa de apprenticeship, donde podemos entrenar trabajadores de otras comunidades para que entren a las regiones. Pero además de eso, nosotros estamos trabajando actualmente en legislación que requiere que en comunidades como la nuestra, donde se está construyendo vivienda asequible, que haga un porcentaje de esos trabajos reservados para trabajadores locales de nuestra comunidad para que puedan tener ese ingreso. Okay, so quickly, going down the line, starting with Abby. Tell us how we can stay in touch with you.
Okay, so like I said, at the resource table, we have our cards, our email, our phone number. It is vital that y'all call, email, even not just for I want to get involved, but any complaints that you have, questions that you have, because that's how we're able to hold our agencies accountable. I do want to take the mic. I mean, I have to be here. I'll give out my email too, and the board members, like I said, are also here. But I want to give one quick plug. We have a survey going on to protect our cultural, historic spaces in our neighborhood. The United Palace is protected, right? We know that. We weren't able to save the movie theater on 181st Street, the Coliseum, or any other space, right? So we're right now soliciting your input on what spaces you want to see 100 years from now, staying in Washington Heights. And every month we got sweepstakes. So we get one winner a month for a $10 gift card, get your coffee, get your rental car with it. But we need to make sure that we have more submissions because communities like the Heights, Black and Brown neighborhoods, a lot of our special historic spaces are destroyed because they're not reflected there. So we need your submissions, all that is there. Nosotros tenemos una encuesta donde estamos solicitando los espacios, las calles, prohibido por ley, pero no pudimos hacer nada por el cine que tarda mucho humo. Entonces hay mucho más espacio donde queremos ver los 200 años desde ahora, ¿verdad? Que mantengan esta comunidad. Entonces necesitamos sus sugerencias. Puede ser tu edificio, puede ser un negocio, puede ser lo que sea, pero la comunidad como de nosotros, negra, latina, inmigrante, han destruido muchos de nuestros espacios significantes y en nuestro país lo hemos visto, ¿verdad? Espacios que tienen más de 500 años destruidos. Entonces tenemos que preservarlo por ley. Es una encuesta rapidita, escalante, inglés, español, y también todos los meses tenemos un ganador o ganadora para una tarjeta de regalo de $10. Así que sometan todo el edificio que quieran y pueden tener su oportunidad.
Gracias. Ok, ¿quién tiene un teléfono celular? Who has a cell phone here? Raise your hands. That's it? Okay. If you want to stay connected to the Working Families Party, I'm going to give you 2 ways. One is you can text right now to the number 30403. Les voy a dar 2 formas de mantener su contacto con el Partido de las Familias Trabajadoras. Pueden enviar un texto right now, ahora mismo, al teléfono 30403 and write WFP in the body of the text. That will get you in our list and you will hear about all the work we're doing online. But if you are one of those people that likes to go to meetings and think about solutions for our communities and dilemmas that we have, then I want to invite you to talk to Destiny, to Katya, and to Jasmine. Katya and Jasmine are back there because they are members of the Manhattan chapter of the Working Families Party, and the Manhattan chapter is a in real life and online community that does political work, including identifying candidates, helping educate elected officials and candidates about the priorities of working families, and helping to select people that the Working Families Party supports. Entonces, si quieren, si a ustedes les gusta ir a reuniones, pensar en cómo resolver los problemas de la comunidad, entonces pueden hablar con Destiny, con Katya y con Jasmine. Ellos son miembros de este trabajo en el Partido Grande, son miembros del comité de Manhattan del partido, y en ese comité pensamos cómo resolver los problemas que aquejan a nuestras comunidades, cómo seleccionar candidatos oficiales electos que realmente estén comprometidos a representar a las familias trabajadoras.
If you want to stay in touch, just feel free to find me. I will have no problem giving you my number or my email. Not afraid to have a hard conversation. Not afraid to talk about any topic. And if anybody wants more information about, upcoming apprenticeship, career apprenticeship opportunities, to try to get either yourself, your loved ones, your community opportunities to have careers in the construction trades, more than happy to help, either coach people through that or set up an information session or something like that. And if you would like to join us at a union rally, remember we're standing up to corporate greed and exploitation of workers like we did in Harmon a couple of weeks ago, actually not half ago, right over there. Please feel free to get my contact. More allies that we have in this fight for justice, for construction justice, especially if the organization that wants to endorse the Construction Justice Act. Please feel free to talk to us. Thank you.
To get in contact with me, my email is cynthia@institution.org. I'm more than happy to have conversations. I live in the neighborhood, I work in the neighborhood, and I think it's
All right, so let's give it up for our panel, Kathy Diaz, Maria China, Ty, and Christian Rose. Thank you all for being here. And we're going to go into the next phase of this because
going on, my beautiful people? Look, shout out to y'all. I hear it, I know you're itching. It's about that time to shout out to y'all. They're showing up early, showing up on time, but most importantly, being here. All these other conversations of us having a voice and being heard, what does it all mean? Because from what I see in your faces, we all want instant gratification. We want some solutions. But how's that going to happen if we're not even in the same space listening to each other to discuss these things? This doesn't start or end here. After this, we're going to have breakout sessions, and we're going to go off and build with each other. So, with that said, I want to talk about how when this week came about, it was really simple. I'm not tied to any organizations, no affiliations to anything, other than just me being a person from the block and being upset that things didn't go right.
Hold on. My people, can you please have a seat? I'm not done yet. We're going to move to lunch shortly. I know it's been a long morning, but we need your patience for a little while longer. Necesitamos su paciencia por un ratito más. Se pueden sentar. Tenemos una presentación corta, breve, sobre el trabajo que el grupo de Bogotá ha hecho y luego vamos a ir a lunchar. Por favor, se pueden sentar. Please stay and let's have the community rules. Respect for our presenters right now.
I completely understand how you feel, and it's okay. But just be aware that I'm actually just an extension and reflection of you guys. I really am not tied to anything or anyone. I was just upset. I've lived 37 years in this neighborhood. Everybody that's successful picks up and leaves. Why don't we ever stay and make ours better? Why is it that everybody's supposed to trade in the chain link fence or the white picket fence? If we don't care about each other, then how far are we going to get? Yes, I'm fully aware that we want all the solutions. Rent is too high, all these other problems, yes. But the fact is, if we're not in a room together and able to build and find solutions with each other, then I'm not sure how far we're going to go. And to be honest with you, living here 37 years, Carmen's been the only representative to do something like this and make herself be known. And we have to be aware that this is a collaborative approach. Because if this is not collaborative, then everybody else is going to do for themselves. If we don't work together, then what's going to happen? So, with us, the People's Project, at least my intention has been to make sure that there's more of a makeup of us from this community in the rooms where conversations are being had and that we're being heard. Maybe 2 seconds, ahora vamos a say that all that in Spanish. Que lo que mi gente, dime verdad. La realidad que nosotros estamos aquí, eso es una parte de la ganancia. Pero para nosotros elevar la situación, tenemos que seguir colaborando. ¿Qué significa? Que lo escuchen y que nosotros tengamos nuestra voz y digamos algo. ¿Y después qué? Si no hay accountability, o si no le decimos a la gente que lo están representando, no es que lo que necesitamos, pero también vemos que lo que han hecho. Carmen es la única que está en el cuarto con nosotros en todos los lugares, diciendo no solamente lo que ha hecho, pero lo que quiere hacer. Pero encima de eso también ha creado este proyecto para hablar con nosotros directamente, afuera de todas las organizaciones. Yo no estoy con nadie, menos que yo soy un chamaco del bloque que se creó y nací aquí. Y eso, yo estoy tan entusiasmado que tengo una oportunidad de estar con todos ustedes, no solamente para que lo escuchemos, pero que también cuando hablamos con Carmen decimos, ok, estos son los detalles de lo que se va a hacer. Por encima de eso también tenemos la especificidad. Disculpa que me sigue hablando demasiado.
So what is the structure, right, that we have been using in order to get all these ideas and all of these community initiatives in an actual real Todo empezó en el reclutamiento de la oficina de la Meta Rosa, donde buscaban a personas en la comunidad que quisieran ser parte de este grupo de gobernanza. Councilmember de las Rosas office, the recruitment of people in the community that wanted to be part of this co-government, right? And we got connected to this. And then during these meetings, we started meeting for over a year, and we developed a survey. And this survey is intended to actually be able to get feedback from the community, and not just the people that have seen these meetings and the community board and this and that. We really get every single person within our district, within our community. Estuvimos un año reuniéndonos para poder crear una encuesta para realmente poder tener la opinión de todos los representantes de toda la comunidad, hasta las personas que normalmente no vienen a las reuniones y no están activos en otros grupos. Ya estamos en esta fase de actividades comunitarias, we're in the phase of community engagement. We're trying to get 2,000 surveys, estamos tratando de tener 2,000 encuestas, lo cual eso significa que si cada persona en esta organización, if every person in this room tells 9, 10 people, we get 2,000 surveys, easy. Si cada una persona aquí le da una encuesta a 9, a 10 personas, ya tenemos 2,000 encuestas. Es algo que ningún distrito ha hecho. It's something that no district has organized really with the community to do something like this. So we really have the opportunity to make change. And then we're going to have a second people's assembly in April. And in that second people's assembly, we're going to look at the results of the survey. And we're going to come together with that information to actually finish drafting a solidified solution, right? So después vamos a tener una segunda asamblea en la que vamos a ver los resultados de esa encuesta y poder crear un plan específico a base de esos resultados, ¿verdad? Y a base de eso, we got a district and action plan created by and for the community. And I think that deserves a round of applause because that's going to be some amazing work.
We're here again. If you want to get down, literally today is part of it. You will be in breakout groups and you will introduce solutions to any of the issues you hold dear to you. And if you want to continue, it's all about consistency. Follow up with James, myself, Carmen, Levy, that where we can keep doing, because it's not just one time. 2 months from now, once again, we're going to hold accountability. We're going to come back and break down a whole PowerPoint presentation about exactly what we feel our needs and wants are and how we can get them met. And this is a learning process for all of us. And
And with that being said,
So give it up for Juan Leticia. We have been part of the co-government committees for a year. This is probably the first time presenting to an audience like this. So I'm going to explain to you what's going to happen next. We're going to go grab lunch. Lunch was provided by the cafe. We thank them again for being present and being here for the community. There are box lunches. You can grab them and then make your way back in here. When we come back in this room, we're going to break out for the different sections of the day. And that conversation is going to go for an hour, and then we're going to report back. That is the meat of today's event. So lo que va a pasar ahora es que tranquilamente vamos a ir a nuestro lunch, nuestra cajita de lunch, y vamos a regresar a ese cuarto. Cuando regresemos a ese cuarto, le vamos a dar instrucciones para el trabajo de grupos. And the different committees, I'm going to call them out so you can start thinking about which committee you want to be part of. Are housing, right here, vivienda, aquí, health, salud, aquí. We have youth and education in the back, la juventud y la educación atrás. And on this corner, we have the environment and the community. And then we have 3 other committees that are going to be meeting in the cafeteria. We have a small business committee in the cafeteria, and there's one more. Which one's the other one over there? And arts